Hello everybody, Autumn here, or Angel as people call me in the Guild Wars 2. But what I'm here to do today is a tips and tricks video. And where's the better place to start the tips and tricks video than character creation? And I think the choices you make in the beginning really do matter. So like if you were gonna do a specific thing later in the game, your character should reflect that. And many people, the choices are just so huge that it's very easy to miss it, and you're gonna have to start over and make another character, and that's always pain. But again, many people like it. If you haven't done so, this is tip number one. If you haven't done so, you should go into Guild Wars and create as many characters as you can. This is going to be important because, well, probably, but as it was in Guild Wars 1, characters get birthday presents. So each year you're going to get some kind of a valuable object. Now I don't know if they're going to be so valuable in Guild Wars 2 because they tend to soulbind most of the things, but nevertheless they might be aesthetic objects or anything else. And you should go ahead and create as many characters. Just fill up all your slots with characters, and just make a variety of them. Different styles. I would recommend having at least one of each race. Okay, so let's go on and create the first character, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it now. Let's look at the black screen. Here we go. Okay, so the first you have a choice of race. Now race matters because not only that the beginning of the story is different, but also that your racial skills are going to be different. Now my main character is human, and to be honest, human racial skills are garbage. They're completely useless. I never use them. There was not a single time where I even considered using their racial skills. Okay, now Asura skills seem to be really cool. They're mostly summoning skills, but the recharge is a little long. It's about, I think, 180 seconds or 160 or something like that. It doesn't really. But they summon golems. Sylvari is the only race that has a racial healing skill. It's like kind of like a ranger skill. You drop a seed. So if you're going to be a healer, I think that's something you should consider, bringing Sylvari, making a Sylvari. Norn, their elite their elite racial skills basically is a transformation, and they're all the same to me. It's transformational skills. I don't know. I don't like them. I don't think there's anyone who really uses them. I'd rather get some kind of an effect. So for example, when I'm a human Ellie, I would use my Ellie elite skill, which would be to summon an elemental with I think it's a quite low recharge. But then now Charr actually has the best elite skill that people I've seen a lot of people using, was the Charr Zuka. Okay, so that's a really Charr has the best racial skills in the game. That's like no doubts about it. So if you're looking for like really good skills, consider Charr. But the Charr area so far is extremely bugged. So if you're going to be playing as a Charr in the Charr area, yeah, it's very, very buggy. but hopefully they're gonna fix it in a matter of days, or I don't even know what I'm talking about this. Yeah, next thing I want to talk about is the although each character behaves the same, like there's really no advantage of choosing one race over the other in PvP. So for example, like a Asura, they would jump equal distance with a Norn, so that there's no advantage. But it really does matter in PvP. I mean, I think it does. If you're playing an Asura, it's much easier to get. I mean, it's much easier to hide, and much harder to get spotted by enemies. Although the targeting box is the same. So for example, it's you don't have to really target the Asura. You can like target next to him, and it's gonna target him. So target area is the same, but he is smaller. So if you're standing behind a bush, you know, the enemy might miss you. So in my opinion, it is much better to play as an Asura in PvP than something like a Charr, who's bulky and huge. I can spot a Charr a mile away across the map. Okay, all right. So now that we talked a little bit about that, if you're gonna go PvP, take Asura. If you're gonna go PvE, take whatever you want, but know that Charr has the best elite skills, and Asura has a healing skill. Alright, so let's just now let's just take somebody. Let's ignore, and let's look at what are the choices of our profession. Okay, so here we have an Engineer, Mesmer, Thief, Necromancer, Ranger. Okay, so I'll just, you know, say my opinion, which character is best for what. Personally, I believe that you guys should take a ranged character into PvE. It is just because, for example, when you're fighting those giant dragons, it's just so busy that you're not gonna know what you're doing. I personally, I almost got a seizure when I was playing as a thief, and there was like 100 people in this narrow corridor, and I was just like, what am I doing? I had no clue of what was going on playing as a thief in PvP. I mean PvE. Okay, so if you want to go PvE, 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 you should take something ranged. So there we go: Elementalist, Ranger, Engineer, or a Necro. Necro is great. Now Mesmer feels more like a PvP character. They're really weird. I mean, I give it a shot. I played a little bit, but that was before I got my new mouse, so it was kind of it's very hard to you have to be really good at micromanaging your clones. So you're gonna have to be on the lookout with F1, F2, F3, and F4 buttons. Those buttons are going to be extremely important for you. So for example, now I got the Logitech G700 mouse, and this mouse has 4 buttons at your thumb. So I assigned those 4 buttons to be F1 through F4. So now it's very easy for me to, you know, to take advantage of those buttons in Guild Wars 2. So that is something you should consider as getting the G700. G700. G600 is kind of, it's too much. It's too many buttons. Anyways, so Mesmer feels more like a PvP character. So does Thief. Guardian is cool. I think Guardian is really cool in PvE and PvP. I mean, he does healing, there's damage, and there's a decent amount of armor. It's you can't beat that. And the warrior is great. I mean, a lot of damage, tons of armor, and decent healing. It's great. But in PvP, I haven't seen that many, to be honest. Like, I played a little bit. I mean, not that little, but I played quite some PvP, and I haven't seen many warriors. So anyway, so if you're gonna play PvP, take an Asura and make him a thief. that is my personal preference. I believe you should. That's what you should do. That is the nastiest combination in the game. Okay, if you're gonna play in PvE, you take an elementalist or a ranger, necro, or an engineer. But it doesn't really matter what you take. Take whatever you like. But those are my personal preferences that I believe actually make a lot of sense. So let's take a necro and let's move on. Here you get to choose the size of your character. Once again, if you're playing in PvE, you should go for as big as you can. If you're playing in PvP, you should make your character as small as you can, so that it's more difficult to spot them. Okay. Same thing with physique. I mean, you can go to extreme, making your character extremely thin, extremely hard to spot. It's something really. If you're really nitpicky, and you want to be taking full advantage of these options that you have. Here's facial. That doesn't really matter. Armor, okay, that doesn't matter. Finally, here is these parts will affect your story. So Necromancer's closest companion and his death. In acknowledgement of this, I mark my face with the symbol of A, skull, trickster demon, or ghostly wrath. All of these. This is like a starting piece of gear that you're gonna get, I think. Yeah, it doesn't really. But then here, this one affects the dialogue. So if you're charmful, then your dialogue is gonna be affected in a certain way. Your character is gonna be talking in a little different way than he or she would. So that's like a little dialogue difference. Now here you have most important quality. Once again, this is a PvE choice. This will affect your personalized story. Let's take this one, and then once again, this is story related. The blackout, we lost a horn or something, or got in a fight. Yeah, she's got in a fight. And then here, once again, you have another choice, and all of these will affect how your story will play out. And but you know, those really don't matter. The ones that do matter and that you should really consider are these. First of all, making your character smaller for PvP, or larger for PvE, so that it's easier for you to see what's going on in PvE. Then making a good decision here with the style you want to play, and so that it doesn't really, so it won't like hurt your eyes or stuff like that. I mean, it's just a personal preference, but still it does matter. And then here, yeah, male or female, that doesn't really matter. Then making a right decision, knowing what to expect. And yeah, and now we're back. Yeah. And finally, just go out and make as many characters as you can. All right. So that's the end of the part 1, and I'll join you guys in part 2, where I'm gonna talk a little bit about the options. All right. Alright. Have a good one. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Leave comments below. Bye bye.